prevent recidivism, constant recidivism. You know, just like you see all these other people here that are complaining about commissary, telephone calls, visitation. You know, these are the issues that us as family members of incarcerated loved ones keep constantly hearing from our loved ones. When we go to visit, we're harassed just as much as the inmates.
Amen.
Harassed, not picked on, harassed. You know, I agree with the gentleman. You have young people working for this facility that are in charge of grown people. You know, what type of help is being provided for these inmates in order for them to come home to us and still be functional adults? You know, they have kids at home. You know, they're being labored out of manufacturers in the fields, being paid less than $1 an hour. You know, they have kids at home that need food. You know, the Global Tel commissary, we pay more for that stuff than we pay our own groceries. And we're struggling to feed our kids. We're struggling to feed our families and take care of our families, in addition to trying to be supportive of a loved one that's incarcerated who is working more hours than us and getting nothing. You know, we want to know as citizens and as loved ones and taxpayers, how's your system going to help, you know, correct, because we don't see any correction, or rehabilitate our loved ones? We understand that they've committed crimes, and we understand that they've been sentenced, you know, for these crimes, but not sentenced to torture. You know, the lack of medical care. My fiance was stabbed 9 times. Not once was his mother called. You want to know how he found me? To tell me what happened? He used a cell phone from another inmate to give me a call to let me know, and I had to call his mother. To this day, the Department of Corrections has not called his mother to tell him what happened, tell her what happened to her son. There's a breakdown of communication in a lot of places. The inconsistencies of the policies. You know, one minute you go to one facility and it's this set of rules. You go to another facility, it's this set of rules. It's like the rules change as you go. There has to be some type of consistency in rehabilitation, correction. I mean, there needs to be a level of respect for these people who come and visit their loved ones. We shouldn't have to be harassed. Our family members shouldn't have to, you know, eat food that is contaminated, you know, sleep on mats if they get one. For months, my fiance did not have a mat to sleep on. He was sleeping on the slab. I've had to call up there. I get talked to as though I'm a criminal, you know, and all I want to know is how come he doesn't have a mat? Where's his blanket? You know, like she said, where's the toilet paper? You know, women in jail, they have feminine issues. They don't even have enough supplies, you know, to accommodate themselves. Now, I understand these people are here to serve time, but at the same time, how does that constitute torture? Where does that come in? How does that work hand in hand? You know, you made a comment about the gentleman spoke about, you know, the drug dealers and all that kind of stuff. Don't drug dealers deserve some type of rehabilitation? A lot of them that sell dope or whatever do it because they're either taking care of family, trying to make ends meet. Don't they deserve some type of rehabilitation too? It's an addiction to them. The money is an addiction. The fact that they want their families to be okay is an addiction. Don't they deserve some type of rehabilitation too? You know, if you keep hearing the same things over and over, such as these people, then you know there's got to be a problem. So I'm just like everybody else. We want to know what type of rehabilitation, what type of correction. How are you going to fix that her daughter doesn't have any toilet paper, that she's walking around with shoes that don't fit her feet properly? And then expecting these people to come back into society and be productive. It's not going to happen if they're not given some other type of alternate route to take while they're there. Just locking them up is not going to do it. It's not going to do it. They need visitations. You know, I understand they have to earn it, but they don't need to be seen. I don't want to go see my fiance at a TV screen. You know, I'm hearing about the video visitations. What type of rehabilitation is that going to bring? How is that going to help my daughter who wants to see her father, her? There are children out here that are being left in the foster care system. You know, there's, you know, what, 2.4 million people incarcerated and half of them are not getting anything that they need. So this is a problem, and I'm glad that you had this today, because there are a lot of people out here who are very concerned about the same things. And if we're all saying the same things, we all want to know what's the answer. We want to know what's the answer. You know, I shouldn't have to send, you know, money all the time so that he will have something to eat. Because the portions that he's receiving is that will feed our daughter. You know, and then you get charged 80 cents for a pack of ramen noodles and you go to the grocery store and they're 12 cents a piece. You know, I'm a struggling mother, you know, a single parent. I can't afford to keep feeding, you know, and doing all this stuff when I have children too that need to be taken care of. And then he's out in the field or out in the warehouse working from, you know, from sun up to sundown, getting paid less than $1 an hour and can't send anything home. So, you know, I just wanted to express my concern that something else needs to be done. You know, basically, you know, I can only see that a lot of these men that are incarcerated are there for profit, because it's all across the board in mass incarceration, based off of profit. But the profit is going to everybody but who it needs to go to. Our children are out here struggling, all by the hands of the Department of Correction, because nothing's being done. You know, so.
Can I ask a couple of questions?
Sure.
Number one, you mentioned that you and other visitors are harassed.
Yes, sir.
I would like to know specifically how you are being harassed.
Sure. My compadre, who is with me in our organization, just went to Parchment last week to go see her husband. Now, I've been with, me and her go visit on the same days. She wore a particular shirt. She had a camisole up underneath her shirt and everything. She was properly dressed. They kept telling her, no, you can't come in here with that. You can't come in, but she's worn this shirt before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 1 minute is you can't wear this. The next minute you can't wear that. Mind you, we're driving 2 or 3 hours to come visit. You know, we're sitting there waiting a whole hour just to get to the visitation room to visit, which is taking away the time. Mind you, we're coming only twice a month to see, you know, our loved ones, and we only have so much time allotted, and that time is being ate up by harassment. You know, then you're coming there, you want to eat snacks, and then you're eating junk food at 9 o'clock in the morning. I mean, chips, cookies, candy, you know, and this is the type of stuff that, you know, I mean, it's not helping these men who have health problems. There was a lady who said her son had health problems. What kind of, you're not even providing any type of nutrition for these, to eliminate some of the medical problems, you know, considering that the medical is not even adequate. So these are, you know, these are big concerns about people who have to help take care of the loved ones that they have that are incarcerated, because the state just wants to seem like they just want to throw them in there, use them for profit, and that's it. And if they do get to come back home, by the time they come home, they're no good to us. No good to us. So where's the correction and where's the rehabilitation is what I'm asking.
Yeah, other than the camisole issue, are there any other instances where harassment?
Yeah, I had a situation where I drove 2 hours to Parchment to go see, and I had my son with me. And, you know, before I called, because mind you, I'm not from Mississippi, I'm from up north, but before I called, I asked specifically to the person that I spoke with in the visitation department, my son is 15, I have his birth certificate, would that be sufficient enough for me to bring him for visitation? I was told yes. 2 hours later, I get up there and I'm turned away because my son doesn't have the ID. But I have his birth certificate with me, original birth certificate. I had to go back and forth with this lady, and she's like, well, you filled out the form. Okay, yeah, I filled out the form months ago to get approved. But I had just got off the phone with one of the people in the office. Like I said, 1 minute, there's one thing about the policy, the next minute is something else about the for GP, general, just because, I mean, it costs us to drive. It costs us to, to put phone on the money. It costs us to pay for food that is